So this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. And it's time now for the night Zohar. We're working slowly through the Parshas Pinchas Daf Reish Lamed Vav Lamed Beis, and this is on page Shin Mem Zion in the Matok Midrash, which once again I recommend to everyone to buy this set. So here we're going to look at this, and this is very obscure, all the things that we're saying. We're looking deeply into the spheros and also the relationship to the human body and the organs of the body and the digestion processes. We've been through all of that. Now it says Netach and Hod, which are the two legs of Zeron. Is Korea Keruvim, they're also called cherubs. Usman Yerinan, and there are 8 of them. Chochma, then he counts. Chochma Bina, Gedula. So Gedula is another way to say of Chesed. Gevura, Teferes Malchus. So he went right away to Teferes and Malchus. Netzach and Hod. Then he says, Tzaddik Atara al Reshe, the Tzaddik has a crown on his head. Dihu leis zug, because he has no mate. Maya Tara de, so what is his crown? Keser Elyon. Now, I would say that is about as mysterious a piece of Zohar as you could come to. So we have a very long Matok Midrash, Baruch Hashem, and hopefully we'll be able to understand it. So it says, Netzach and Hod is Korea Keruvim. So he says that Netzach and Hod Nikran Keruvim. He came Kamo Beis HaKeruvim Sha'al HaKapara Shehoya Ke'umin. They were like twins. They were on top there. So Netzach and Hod, we said in many places that Netzach and Hod are really 2 halves of one body. Zun. So with them being Zun, so the Eva of the Emo. So let's take a look at Zeranpin. They have a situation in which they are ingested from Abba into Emo, and Eva becomes impregnated with children who are called Zohar. So the Eva are in that stage of embryonic stage, so Me'aho, the Ema, inside of Ema's womb. Now in that condition, Oz Netzach and Hod Shehem Trei Palgi Gufa, which Netzach and Hod, which are 2 halves of one body. In other words, they're one. The Gufa the Echad Nachshavim. So therefore, let me read the whole phrase. Netzach and Hod Shehem Trauge the Gufa, 2 halves of one body. La Echad Nachshavim. So they're considered to be like one. So they said the Smanya Union. So then that makes you 8. The Chain Ein the Zeir Anpin Eller Shmona Sfiros. So therefore, if Netzach and Hod are really one, which everybody agrees with that, so therefore you only have 8 Sfiros in Zeranpin because Netzach and Hod are one. So he's like the Hainu Chochma Bin, and I'm going to count them out. Let me get a little room here. Count them out. He says first is Chochma, then Bina, Shehem HaMochin the Iber, which are the Mochin, which are found in the gestational stage called evil. For a das in Mizgala, there is no das that is revealed over there at that time. So he said Gevura Shehem Bebezes Roas, Gevura, Gedula and Gevura, which was Chesed and Gevura, represent the 2 shoulders of Zeranpin. Teferes, then there's Teferes, which has 6 spheros, and Malchus, Shehem Haguf, Ataras Yisod, which represent the body, which is Teferes, and the Ataras Yisod and the tip of the Yisod. Now, the Matuk wants to add in on top of this, he wants to add this phrase, Hatam Shemona Osam Yachad. The reason why we count them together, Ki Be'ever, because in the stage of gestation, in other words, Abba planted the seed within Ema and she becomes impregnated with it. During that period of time, it's called Evor. A Malchus of Medith Achrecha Teferes, and Malchus at this point is in the back of Teferes. Then he says, Netzach and Hod, Heim Trei Palgi Gufa, the Nechshav, and the Echad. There are 2 parts of the body that are considered to be one, 2 halves of one entity. Tzaddik Atara al Reshe. Now he brings in this concept. Tzaddik Shuha Yisod. Yisod is the concept of tzaddik, and this is one of the main points that the Zohar brings to us, is that the purpose of a Frum Yid is to keep the Yisod pure. A Malchus he Ataras al Rosha. So the tzaddik is Yisod, and then there is a crown at its tip, at its end, which is called Malchus. Dihi leis le zug. That is Ihu leis le zug, ki ha-Malchus elo zug, the halves alecho. So she doesn't have a mate to be able to cover over her. She covers over the male aspect, but nothing covers her. She's bare. Kanodiki kashuzun heim be'iver be'ima. And he explains like this, and this is all deep Kabbalah going back. He says kashuzun heim be'iver be'ima. So when Zohar and Nukva, the male female poles, are inside of the Nukva, heim nimsoim sham twas klilim betwas. So we understand that the six spheros, which represent the male. And then there's another concept called the psia labar, which is a little movement on the outside, which is really that tip of the low end of the valve, which is the female aspect. But the whole business is folded up so that Netzach Hod Yisod are on top of Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferes. The Hain Netzach Malvish al Chesed, who Malvish al Gevurah, and that is closed on Gevurah. Yisod Malvish al Tiferes, Malchus malveshes al Yisod, so the teres Yisod, and Malchus covers over the Yisod, that becomes the crown for Yisod. Vain law zug, but she has nothing else that would cover her. And the Forish, so explains. Ama atara delay. So what is this crown that you're talking about? The mi hu atara shal Yisod, and who is exactly this crown of the Yisod? Vamer Kasa Elyon. He says it's the upper Kasa. Now, what does this mean? Hi hamalchus shehi keser v'ratara al yisod. So he says the keser elyon, which is called the crown on top. He says it doesn't refer to the sphera on the very top. It's except, and he means it's the malchus. It's malchus herself. So he says shehi keser v'ratara al yisod, which becomes a keser, which is the crown on the yisod. Because now we're talking about a certain time. We're talking about the very beginning of the conception of male and female. So that is the lower male and female. She is stronger than the male. She becomes a crown on his head. That's the night Zohar here. This is Baruch Fleischman. I'm at the Tikkun elevator cola.